Hi everyone, welcome back to WHU TV. It's nice to see you. I hope you're keeping well. Here are my full-time thoughts for West Ham 1, Manchester City 3. As always, guys, this video is sponsored by the channel sponsor, 3retro.com. Please click the link in the description below that will take you directly through to the West Ham section of their website. But if there's any Man City fans watching, as you can see from the icon that's up here, there's also some very, very nice Man City retro gear in there as well, along with track jackets, polo shirts, sweatshirts and t-shirts made by Umbro and Admiral, so go check those out. Any purchases you make through the link in the description below, the commission that the channel would normally be getting, as I always say, I'll be sending on to the charity Iron Supporting Food Banks. They're based in the Newham area and they're helping those in the Newham area and the Essex County and further afield for that matter, as they are helping to support 39 separate food banks as of the time of this recording for people that have really been struggling since the start of this decade. Really, quite frankly, just at the end of last decade, the beginning of this. So guys, go grab yourself a really nice retro shirt. You'll be saving yourself a few quid in comparison to your club shop. Or go grab yourself a very nice polo or track jacket as well. And you'll be helping those the less fortunate than you and I. So guys, let's start off by getting Dennis and I's thoughts as we got to the London Stadium in terms of the team sheet.
All right then, Dan, so talk us through the team sheet for today's game.
Well, we've got Areola in net, we've got Soufal, Zuma, Aguerd, Emerson, we've got Alvarez and Soucek in holding midfield with James Ward-Prowse. On the wings, we've got Paqueta on the left, Bowen on the right, and we've got Mickey Antonio up top.
So what are you thinking on the game today then?
Again, it's the expected lineup, I guess, because how he lined up against Brighton, which is a similar type of game. Got to question the impact Paqueta will have on the wide left, but remains to be seen. Equally, it has options on the bench, such as Benny and so forth, that you can bring on if it's not working.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right, mate, because at the end of the day, it is relatively predictable, but I do think we'll get...
There we are. Fan base in full voice.
Exactly. Yeah. So I do think we can give, as I said in the preview, I do think we can give City quite a good game.
Quite a good game. As I said, this is the ultimate free hit. Tend to be, if you get a point, it's a great result. If you get a win, fantastic. If we lose, as long as it's competitive, we're happy. Yep. So it's a pretty much a non-starter for me.
Exactly. At the end of the day, if we're beaten by 3-0 or more, we should be going up top. So yeah. And with that, we're done.
So guys, before we talk about the game itself, I just want to acknowledge that the fact that the TFL really screwed up this day for a lot of people. And a lot of people screwed this up for a lot of people as well, for that matter. Yeah, because the central line was severe delays because of not enough staff. Quite frankly, they were on strike again for some stupid reason, all about, the usual crap that it is. And there were people that were getting buses as a result of it, and were being lazy and not allowing people to get up on some of the buses. So getting to the ground was very difficult for a lot of people. So if you were one of the affected people that did it, by all means put your comments in the comment section below, because yeah, it was not the best of starts in any shape or form. Before the game, me and Dennis and Bill, we gone on to the West Ham Way event to see Dean Ashton up at O'Neill's in Leytonstone. Great event, just brilliant. Got to meet my hero. I absolutely loved Dino when he was playing, and to hear his stories in terms of how he moved from Crewe Alexandra to Norwich and then on to West Ham, and everything surrounding the England injury, etc., and how he coped with it afterwards. It was very, very emotional, and yeah, loved if you follow the account on Twitter, you would have seen the photograph of me and Dino next to each other. It was a great day, really, really great fun. Martin Allen is a phenomenally funny and very, very good host for the West Ham Way. So if you haven't already done so, guys, by all means, please do see if you can get to the West Ham Way events for the next venue from the end of this month. They're going to be brilliant. It's going to be great fun. Mark Ward, don't get me wrong, was a phenomenally good host. Really, really was good. Very, very good with his discipline and with everybody. But Wardy Mad Dog just took it to another level. He really did. But anyway, let's talk about the game itself, because that's what you guys are here for. Now, as it always is with Man City, for the first 10-15 minutes, as we normally apply the pressure on the opposition as well, they really came at us and we defended absolutely phenomenally well. So good. Great communication through everybody. Zuma made some great clearances. Fucking Areola, Jesus Christ, that man's a cat. Honestly, he just was played out of his skin. in goal. You know, what was I counted about? Was it 4 or 5 saves in what 20 seconds? Phenomenal, so good, so good. You know, and then Man City set back a little bit. You know, allowed us to do what we like to do. You know, just to go out and try and hit him on the counter attack a little bit, but they absorb the pressure brilliantly. At the end of the day, guys, as I said in the preview, they're an elite fucking club. They are just phenomenally good players, really, really good. They hardly made any unforced errors or errors throughout the entire game. But we're talking about the first half so far. But yeah, just played really, really well. You know, and Areola and Paquetá was running the midfield for a lot of the first half. I know a lot of people saying he had a point to prove because obviously Man City tried to come into him in the summer and we absolutely rejected it. But in general, guys, I really, really think it was a very, very good performance. About the 34th, 35th minute, we had a pelt down the right hand side, and it didn't really come to much, but it was a test by the looks of it. And the reason why I'm calling it a test is what happened a few seconds later. I said to Steve, who's next to me at the time, as that going, I said, if that was more controlled and that was more of a heavier attack, that's 1-0, and we scored. We got a goal. Ward-Prowse, man, 4 games, 2 goals, 3 assists in 4 games. Tell me how that's not signing of the season. And I'm not just saying it from a West Ham perspective. How is that not going to be up there in the top 5 or 6 for signing of the season at the end of the season? And guys, I wouldn't be too surprised if he gets Player of the Season for West Ham as well. I wouldn't, or Hammer of the Year as it's referred to. I wouldn't be at all surprised if he keeps this up. Oh God, Christ Almighty, we've got a player there. We really, really do. But yeah, Soufal lays the ball up to him, and bam, it's in the back of the net, and we just went crazy. It was really funny hearing us sing, the champions in Europe to the Man City fans who don't sing at all until they score, which we'll come on to about in the second half. They had a bit of a sing song at the start of it, but very, very muted. I generally think that Man City fans were worried about how well, how they were playing, and in terms of how well we were defending. We hardly heard anything from them at all until the equaliser, which we'll come on to, as I say, in a minute. But I just really think that we really held our nerve. Now, normally at this point, we as it was, if you guys want to see the Chelsea full-time thoughts video, normally what we would do is we'd have we'd cut to conversations at half time between me and one of my mates who I was at the game with. Unfortunately, there wasn't enough people around us in order to do that, and it was really, really loud at half time, so I don't think the microphones would have been able to pick it up quietly. But at the time, probably I should say, but at the time I said to Bill, the concentration was pinging off the back of a conversation that me and Steve had throughout the game, to be honest with you. I said, City are going to come out all guns blazing for the first half. Sorry, at the start of the second half, which they did. But I said, the concentration will either win this or lose this game for us. And it was kind of, I was kind of proven right, unfortunately. Literally 40 seconds. By the time I was getting back to my seat, getting through everybody, why are there so many people drinking still, and just not really making much of an effort to get back for the second half? I don't know. We were 1-0 up at half time. It was ridiculous. We were very, very happy going into half time. But yeah, literally getting back to my seat and seeing Doku running down the flank hand side, and then all of a sudden see the crossing and it's in the back of the net and it's 1-0. It was like, Christ, I'm like, what? Hang on, what? Sort of thing. Don't get me wrong. Doku did a phenomenally good run. He gave Soufal a lot of pressure in the first half. Is it Doku or Doku? It's Doku, isn't it? Because Doku's the Star Wars character. Yeah, it's Doku. It's got to be Doku. But yeah. So what 1-0 was like, okay, it's City. We're going to concede. I said it. I've said it many times, and I'm sure me and Mark will be talking about it tomorrow for the reaction. His thoughts on the game when we do it tomorrow night live, by the way, guys, from 7:30. So make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and hit your notification bell so you know when we're going live with that video, that conversation, I should say. But you know, I just kind of the atmosphere seemed to change a little bit. You know, we were still singing, and of course the Man City fans copied Arsenal, and you know started singing because they did bugger all for most of the first half. But we still came out, we still attacked, we still had some good rhythm with us. You know, Antonio had a phenomenally good chance to make it 2-1. I think, yeah, 2-1. It was just, I was just shouting at him, lift it. You know, as in chip it over the goalkeeper, but he can't do it. I mean, it wasn't the best of controls from him in the first place, but you know, it was a opportunity to scream it. And to be fair, I do genuinely think, guys, that if that goal had gone in, that's a completely different game. You know, City are going to have come out at us again and just really go for it. But it wasn't. It didn't happen. Don't get me wrong. City's goalkeeper made some phenomenally good saves, and that was a perfectly timed run to get the ball. Just great. Now the problem is, I do genuinely think that Alvarez hadn't gone off. It looks like, from what I've been reading after the game, that he's told people that he was suffering with fatigue rather than a natural injury. But at the time, around about the 65th, 66th minute, the substitutions was going to be Souček and Antonio off for Benrahma and Kudus making his debut at home. And as a result of it, you know, and then all of a sudden, we saw Alvarez down on the floor and was holding his leg, and it just seemed to be that he was injured. So the substitution had to be changed. Kudus still came on for Antonio. You know, it was great for him to make his debut at home for us. But instead, Alvarez had to come off, as I say, and Benrahma came on in his place. Benrahma, to be fair, got into some good positions, but didn't. Again, we could have got goals out of it. I think Kudus played very well. I think he played very, very well. You could see his ideas. You know, he within minutes of coming on, he pinged the ball over to Benrahma, who wasn't aware it was going to happen, and it went behind him as a result of it. Not that's Benrahma's fault, but I mean it is, but it isn't. But we'll talk about that another time. But yeah, guys, it was just like we reverted back to last season. Yeah, having Souček being the only defensive midfielder out there, and the game totally changed. You know, and don't get me wrong, Man City, as I said at the start of this video, and then again in the preview, just they are an elite side, and they took their goals really, really well. The second, City's second with a ball from Alvarez, who's got a brace of assists. He got the assist gave the ball to Doku, who just fucking ran at us. It looked like at the time, from our perspective, it looked like there was an own goal from Aguerd. It wasn't. It was a goal scored by Bernardo Silva. From people that were closer to that, it looks like, you know, a lot of people were over in the West End were screaming for offside. Replay showed that he wasn't. It wasn't even checked because he wasn't offside. And Steve, I'm not going to lie, gave up the ghost. Just like, here we go. This is going to be a goal. You know, we're going to concede loads. I said, I don't think we will. You know, we're not. We just don't go over like a what's the word? A house of cards in the way that we used to against Man City. And I love that. And it's one of the many things, many positives we can take from this game. Was just the fact that we are no longer have to worry too much about conceding ridiculous goals. I mean, obviously, Newcastle last season is the exclusion from that point of view. But but we're not going over that again. But yeah, it was a good goal. You can't argue it. It was taken well. You can argue the fact that. You can argue the fact that the way that the free kick was taken, it was easy, it was sloppy, blah, blah, blah. But again, not that long. Where are we? Yeah, 9-10 minutes later, Bernardo Silva, great ball up to Erling Haaland, who got his goal. He could have had a couple of goals in the first half, to be honest with you. quite sloppy mistakes from him, from the man with that sort of reputation and his ability. But 3-1, it's not that much of a kick in the teeth. At the end of the day, guys, when I did the video about the fixtures, and if any of you guys had commented saying our first loss of the season would be against the European champions and the champions of England twice in the same season, as in obviously they won, they've done the treble, then we would have all taken that. We would have gone. I would have said, yeah, I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that, and I am happy with the loss. We all knew it was going to come at some point. So as Dennis said when we were talking about this team sheet, a lot of people were seeing it as a free hit, and I get that. I understand. I said I didn't agree. I've never agreed with that. Never ever agreed with that. But I see why people do it, and people say it. But yeah, it was. It's disappointing. Of course, none of us want to see West Ham lose. But I did say that this is one of this is the first of 5 games we've got until the end of the month. Yeah. Next game we're coming up is Thursday night for the Bacca Topola preview, so keep an eye out for that. That preview is going to be going up on Tuesday. So keep an eye out for that. And then obviously we've got Liverpool away at the weekend as well. And then after that, we've got Lincoln in the cup and the League Cup, and after that we've got Sheffield United at home at the end of the month. So a loss was going to happen at some point. We knew full well we were never going to go throughout the whole season unbeaten. It was just not going to happen. But to lose it to Man City is no bad thing in any shape or form. It should have been 3-2, as I hinted at with the chance from Antonio. It could have been 3. It could have been 4-5, but if we hadn't defended so well that we did. But it should have been 3-2. So, but we played well. I wouldn't say we deserved it because we didn't attack as much as we should have done. But in the main, guys, I do really think we played we played better than a lot of people expected, and we lost by a smaller margin than people would have thought as well, for that matter. But guys, as always, thank you very much for your time. I'm rambling on as usual. So put your comments in the comment section below. I say I'll see you tomorrow night or tonight, depending on when you're seeing this, because Mark and I are going to do the recap video live broadcast from 7:30. So keep an eye out for that. Other than that, enjoy the rest of your weekend, guys, and I'll see you very soon. All the best now. Take care.